Everyone, you can tell it's time. Look at all the sweat. It's I got the air conditioner on and I'm still sweating. So it's pretty warm today. It's good to see some people here already. Are you going? Happy home at Harmony Seeker? So I didn't have anything sort of written down for the chat today, except I had a sort of a core sort of thing to talk about. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. Harmony Seeker says we can just freeform. Well, like the title for the video or the stream was getting moving again, something like that. And so I sort of spent the whole last week sleeping for a few hours and then be awake and then not doing anything, just I was in this sort of strange time thing. Red Rose here as well. Red Rose says, hey, Luke, and everyone in the chat. Awesome to have you here, Red Rose. So it was really strange, and I had nightmares every day because I was sleeping at different times. My sleep patterns are all over the shop still. It might take me weeks. I don't know how long it's going to take to get back to some regular sleep. If I can be productive at those early hours of the morning, like late night, I can just let it naturally sort of get back to normal. But it is going to take time, but I needed that week of just doing nothing, and I'm ready now. Like I had planned last week to get back to doing stuff, and I couldn't manage it. And I think I'm ready now for it, and that I needed that time. So I don't regret it, Happy Hermit says taking melatonin helps some people get their sleep schedule back. I will try that, and I have used melatonin in the past and it has helped. So I'll look at that, definitely. Yeah, even chamomile tea actually works for me, and magnesium. I have some magnesium tablets, but I've been told getting the powder is better. Making a drink with the powder. So I'll definitely try that. I was just on the phone to a friend of mine, and I was telling her how I was lucky to have been able to be there for sunrise, for the last 4 months or so. And so I appreciate that time of the day. Harmony Seeker says, my therapist says sometimes you have to just allow your nervous system to rest, so don't feel bad about it. That's a really good, thank you. It's a really good comment. I think that's what happened. I did, I did have a problem where I was drinking alcohol. I've just stopped. And I wasn't drinking a lot. I was just drinking very slowly. I never even felt much of a buzz from it. Like I just I was drinking so slowly, and um, I'm glad that I'm now at the point where it's finished, and I can get back to healthy eating and um, you know, sobriety. Even though like I was never getting, except for that one night when I did that live stream where I drank a lot of wine, I did get intoxicated that night. So, but besides that, it was just, it seemed like I needed that too, even though I knew I didn't want it, and I could tell that it'd get to a point where I'd be ready to go back to sobriety. Um, so I'm glad that that's where I'm at now. It's because it's not good for you, and it does have its place, um, in moderation, and so maybe once a month or once every few months I might have a couple of glasses of wine, and that's about it. But I think I just needed that to get through that time, that last few weeks, and I getting towards the end, I was feeling that it was ready. I was ready to stop, and that's where I'm at now. Because I think with things like substances, you've got to be ready for it, and so that's helped me now. And I'm looking forward to the next while of getting back to doing things and getting moving again. So um, things are getting better now. So I focusing on, so my diet went real bad, so um, getting back to eating healthy food is a big thing moving forward. um, I, I've got so much work to do now, so I had all these projects that I was working on, and they all sort of stopped, obviously. Red Rose says one day at a time. Yeah, that's it. So there will be that sort of slow build up now, and it'll take a bit of time to get the energy back. But I'm ready for that, and I've got my list of things to do. I've got so much to work on, and it's just a matter of doing it, and doing a little bit each day, and then building that up more and more, and then eventually I'll have I'll um, momentum, and I'll be getting fitter and healthy again. So that's something that I'm excited to actually do that now, because it's been a long time that I've been working on this, And there's obviously been, um, you know, so many people have been saying to me, look after yourself, and it really makes sense. Seems to be everyone's dropped out of the stream. Hopefully, it's still working. So, someone's back in again. So there might be something wrong with the stream tonight. Yeah, Red Rose says I'm here. Happy Hermit says still here. Yeah, awesome. So it must just be something to do with the count. So yeah, I'm excited to actually get busy again now, and I've got all this stuff to do. I've got my website to build. I've got to finish the book. Starting this business. I've still got support from the Carers Network to help me with my business, and there's some courses I can do with them for free. So I'm going to try and take advantage of that, and they'll help me with my business as well. So just getting moving again, bit by bit. I think I needed that week of just doing nothing, and it sort of gave me time, and now I'm ready, So I've got so much to do around the house. We've got once a year you have the council does thing where you put your items that you'd normally take to the rubbish or to get recycled or whatever out on the footpath, on the curbside, and they come and collect it. So that'll be something I do this week, is putting all that stuff out the front for that collection, and starting to eat properly again. Definitely diet. Diet has been like a thing that's been probably my most neglected thing, and so just simple meals, basic stuff, but getting back into cooking again. And I'll feel it. I'll feel better whenever I eat at least one good meal a day. I feel so much better. So yeah, I've identified that diet. Alcohol's easy. I've got to that point where I don't want to drink anymore. And I wasn't drinking that much in the last few months. I'd just have 2 or 3 beers to go to sleep after my sort of shift, sort of thing, in my caring role, and then, but then, then it became this sort of thing that I did for the last few weeks, knowing that I was going to stop. And so I'm going to be out, like, next time you see me in a stream, like, I'll look different, because I'll have been doing stuff, and I'm just going to get healthier and healthier. And I'll finally start losing all that weight that I keep talking about needing to lose. So, which will make me feel better too. So that's one thing I noticed is I did a thing where I spent 4 days cleaning the house and the gardens a few weeks ago, and I was so unfit that I was just exhausted and sore. My whole body was sore, and that sort of showed to me how weak I'd become. And so, I'm excited to get my fitness back. So that'll be something that it's all going to make me feel better, hopefully eating well and exercising will help. The nightmares will hopefully go as well. So I'm looking forward to that when that happens, and I'm accepting them at the moment. They're just a part of what I'm going through. And when I wake up from the nightmares, I process them, I think about them, and I try to sort of understand why I was having the nightmares and what they were, and that has helped me not be disturbed by them. So like my waking hours won't be stuck in this sort of pain of thinking about them. So and I haven't been reading. And I bought all these books towards the end of last year. That I've got a massive amount of books that I've got sitting there now. So that's another thing I'm excited to get back into is to get back into reading, because I was reading 1.5 books, I think it was, a week. So that's going to be really good to do. So I've got all this stuff to do, which is, it's sort of unfortunate in that sense that where I'm at now is to just get moving again, bit by bit, and you can see the sweat, like it's the middle of summer here. I've got the air conditioner on, so it's probably good for me to do what I can during the cooler times of the day, and then I've got all this stuff that I started with like the work I've put into starting my business. I've got to really focus on now and get back on track with that. And you know, yeah, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on things, and my anxiety is still pretty high. It's not going to stop me doing my business, like if I'm taking people for a bushwalk or something like that, I won't have anxiety with that. So it's just certain things. So it's not going to affect me being able to operate a business. And I can do these streams, which has been such a big help for me. Talking and communicating and there's support and connection. Like I got so much support and people reaching out to me over the last month, especially, but ever since I started, really, so much support, and I appreciate that from everyone. And I've got to honor all that and really just get moving again. So I've made a start. Like when I did that, leading up to New Year's, when I did those streams every day, I was making a start on doing all the changes around. So I've got so much work to do. I've got so much work to do, but it's good. I'm ready for it now, and I've got some other cool projects. We got possums that live here above the stairs. So I've got to build a platform for my phone, and so I can put my phone there, and I'll do streams of the possums where they, either when they waiting for them to come home at dawn, or in the afternoon just before they wake up and go for their nightly wander. And so I'm going to do streams of that. That's going to be fun to do, is to just set the camera up and we can watch possums sleeping and putting we always got lots of fruit here, so I can leave a bowl of fruit there for them, and so when they wake up they can discover some fruit and have a feed before they even leave. So that's going to be really fun. And when I do those streams, I'll be in the chat myself, like just typing away. So that's another project. And it'd be nice to get, I thought about getting an aquarium and setting that up. That'd be a good sort of therapeutic thing to do. And I've thought about extending the pond so that it overflows and then travels across the path into a lower pond, and then that pumps up to the main pond. Because when I first built the pond, there was like a waterfall, and it's still there. But I like the idea of extending it, so that'll be something to do. Australiana's here. Awesome that you're here, Australiana. Australiana says your little steps are massive. You haven't missed a beat. Do not beat yourself up. By the way, I'm a Kenmore girl on Fantasy Island. So you grew up just near me. I was going to go for a walk, but my daughter spoke to me badly, went flat. Oh, sorry to hear that. Things like that. It's unfortunate when. So there you go. So it's if you didn't get to go for a walk, then it's good timing that, yeah. Australiana says, I knew you were there. That's awesome. It's sometimes things like that work out perfect like that, you know. So the walk would have been nice, but then, you know, turned out you're here now. So Australiana says, yeah, she gets a smoothie for dinner because I'm having one. Smoothies are good. I'm actually going to have to get back into making them. And we got one of those battery powered smoothie makers where you can actually use it as a cup as well. Makes it even easier, like rechargeable one. So that'll be something I do, is start making them again. So maybe I should actually go make a smoothie later. I think I will. That's awesome. You just give me an idea for what I'm going to have for dinner. Because I cooked some, I just had fried eggs earlier, which was good. It's probably the most nutritious meal I've eaten in a week. So I can't wait to start eating good food again. You know, but I'll be having a smoothie for dinner myself. Like, I don't know, like it'll probably, we've got lots of, we've got all the stuff to make a good smoothie upstairs, so I'll do that. Australiana says, no special treatment for anyone abusive for 24 hours if I can help it. Enjoy your smoothie. Kale smoothies and a poncho will get you another shaman level, apparently. Nice. A good poncho would be good to have, actually, for winter time. I've got like a poncho that's like a rain poncho, but Kat's here as well. Awesome. Kat says hi all. Awesome you're here, Kat. Yeah, no, definitely poncho. I'm gonna get a like a fire blanket and use that as make it a cape out of it. So for winter, so it doesn't keep the rain out. Awesome. Australiana says I'll make you one. That'd be awesome. Make me a poncho or a cape, one of the two. How cool will that be? I'll trade you one of my tiles. So that'll be another thing to do, is to get back into making the tiles and doing all that stuff. I've just got so much. The good thing is there's so much stuff, and yes, canvas tent fabric wax. That's a good idea. Perfect. Lasts forever too. Red Rose says, hey, Kat. So, and that's right. Kat was saying she's reading lots of books too. So I want to get back into reading, Kat, because I've got all these books, like I was saying before. Yeah, Australiana says deal. Yeah. All right. I'll start thinking about getting the getting back to making. I'll make a new form, which is the form that you pour the tile in, and I'll make a real heavy duty, strong one. So some of the ones that I've got outside, it's pretty awesome. I stamped like plant material into it, and then you pull it away, and then it leaves the pattern of the plant, the leaves and the flowers. But this one didn't have flowers, and it had. I used a lot of recycled cardboard and in the mix, and then when I hit it with the pressure washer, it knocked out these perfect spots of like holes in it, not all the way through the tile, but into it. And so now it actually looks like flowers. So it was a pretty cool discovery. Like, at first I was worried it was going to go all the way through, but it stopped. And then now when I look at the tile, it's completely turned it into something awesome, because now it looks like there's this plant with flowers. Kat says, "Hi Red Rose, hope you're well with the art." Australiana says, "Hey girls." Red Rose says, "Thank you, Kat. The same for you." Kat says, "Yes, surprised myself. Managed to read one of the books I borrowed within a few days. Need to get more." Awesome. That is awesome. That's really good to hear. Like, so I'm excited to get back reading again. And you know, it's like I had that's what, when I stopped reading, I had books from the library and they became overdue. So like I've ended up having to take them back, and didn't finish one of them. But then I bought it off the Google Books, like the ebook store. So I will finish that one. I might start with that one. And I've already got heaps to read, heaps of books sitting there. So I can't wait. Australiana says, "Well done, Kat." It's really good work. And it's good giving yourself a challenge like that. You know, it was something like reading 10 books or something. And then, so yeah, it's difficult at first, isn't it? Like, if you haven't read for a while, just being able to, and again, I guess the reason why I didn't read for so long is because I couldn't focus my attention I didn't feel like reading. Like, I could do other things, but like, I didn't have this sort of drive to do it. You know, I was watching documentaries and listening to podcasts, so I was still learning lots of things, but I wasn't reading. And reading's such a powerful thing, whether it's fiction or non-fiction. And I do read a lot of non-fiction. Kat says, "Thank you guys. I wasn't expecting to be able to do it as much as I am, as I want to." That is awesome, though. It's awesome that you got through that first book so quickly. And you know, yeah, that's it. Kat says, "My concentration is the biggest challenge." It really, that's a really great achievement when you overcome that challenge of concentration. And you know, for me to be like, I'd be reading a page, and then I'd get onto the second page, and I'd be like, "What was I just reading?" And then I have to go back and read it again, because you know, either your mind drifts away, or you're reading and you're not actually focusing on what you're reading. And I think that's, to be honest, like, the mindfulness, I think, helped me with that, because it was after I did the mindfulness training, you know, started doing it every day. That's when I started reading again. And you know, I remember when I first started reading, I had a lot of troubles concentrating. And now I can just read. So now it's been like a month or so since I have done reading. So hopefully I can just get back to where I was real quick. And it's it's such an amazing feeling when you're able to concentrate on a reading and retain the information. You know, if it's something like a book about trauma healing, and you know, or something very practical, I've started taking notes on the books as I read them. So that's been a really cool thing. And then I can go back through my notes and but just being able to concentrate and think while you're reading, and then when you finish the book, you can sort of go through each chapter and remember everything that was going on in each chapter, and that's really awesome. Australiana says, "Hey Luke, would you guys, as a small group, I like maybe read the first chapter of what is meant to be a funny take on experience, being brave here." I'm going to write that down. So that's the name of the book, What is Meant to be a Funny Experience. Oh, it's called Mirror Mirror. That's the name of the book? Yep. Yeah, I'll look for it. Awesome, you're writing one. So that's awesome. I'll buy your book when you publish it. That's so exciting to hear that. Kat says, so true, the mind wanders. Sounds great, Australiana. Australiana says, apparently once you can read and focus, your brain is better. It's a sign. That is awesome. Yeah, that is. And you feel better too. Like as soon as you can do it, like it's like, oh, it works again, you know. And so I'll find out during the week when I start reading again whether I have difficulties at first. But I think I'm ready to start again, and again, it's another thing I'm excited to do. So, and I want to read your book, Australiana. Is it like a memoir? Oh, so it's it. I'm writing one. It's the first chapter. Well, if it's your book, I will happily read the first chapter. And if you give me permission, because it's your copyright, and I'll definitely read it on here. I'm honored to. So that's awesome. And so is it like it's a memoir, or because it's really good therapy, and I talked about doing that myself. So as like a reframing process, and to change all the names and locations and everything, and write it under a pseudonym, and then I could publish it, or I could choose to not publish it. And I've had a counselor say that it can be really, really good therapy. Australiana says it's a healing story of courage, tongue-in-cheek, and iconic take on things without using I. Yes, I get it. so the reader feels included. That's a really that's a good way to write, you know. So it's you know, from that perspective, so you can put yourself in the story if that's what it is. It's your experience, you know. Yeah, ebooks are free. Make it into an audio. Yeah, that's true. And like I do the book I'm working on. I want to actually publish it as well. So that'll cost money to do. But that's a goal. I did want to have a physical book, but the company that does that, self-publishing, they distribute the ebook as well. So yeah, ebooks are free, and if you do want to sell it, you can even just basically sell. People can buy a copy and pay your, like, through PayPal. They can pay for it, and you can email them a copy of the ebook. So you don't even need to have a shop. You know, you can just sort of advertise through social media and things like that, you know. And so but you know, there's it's good to give things away, you know, but it's like for free, but it's also, you know, you can put value into it, and you can sell, you know, like you can still sell the book for money, and you know, and then you can do something with that money. I think a lot of people will want to read your book. So Australiana says, no one gives an F about me. It's about how it relates. No money, don't pay. Online is free. Put it on your site there, here, and you'll be laughing. Yeah, true. There is that. I could do that. You know, I'll think about that, because I've still got like all the poetry sections already written. I'm still adding poems to it, but I'm going to have to take poems out because I got too many. But I've still got to finish the written section of like essays, and I've started that. So that's one of my big projects, is to finish that writing section. So that's another thing I'm excited to sort of to do now. I can, you know, I can think about getting moving again, you know, which is what Australiana says. Better algorithm on YouTube and pay per download. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, I could you know, I've got a Patreon account now, so, which I haven't advertised yet. I will eventually start, once, because that's where I'm going to put my mindfulness meditation recordings. So people could subscribe to that, and then they can download all the, and I'll keep adding to the list. But I do, you know, I do have the idea to use the Patreon so people can help fund the book. but I could actually put the book on there as an ebook, and they could get it through there. No, but that's a great idea, and I can't wait to read your book, Australiana, and email me the first chapter, and I'll read it this week, or as soon as you're happy for me to read it. Australiana says, I won't hog the chat. Got to go do the smoothie, guys, and cool down. Yeah, it's pretty warm today, but it cooled down yesterday after sunset, so it should start cooling down. Yeah, but Australiana says, got to do the smoothie and cool down. Just a few people are inspiring me. Thank you. Money is a brick, and online doesn't have a brick wall. Money is a brick wall, sorry. And online doesn't have a brick wall. Yeah. That's a really good comment and way to look at things. So Kat says, I noted a book the other day that I thought would be good to read, Memoir as Medicine by Nancy Aroni. I think it would be so healing to write one story. Yes, exactly. I think so too. It's and there has been, like I said, I had a counsellor say how positive it can be, and that, you know, she said, if it gets too triggering for you, just stop writing, just put it down, and then if you feel like going back to it, go back to it, and then if you know if but she said, you know, there's lots of cases where people have been through some pretty horrible stuff, and like the writing of the memoir has been a really healing experience, and then it gets even better if they share it and other people find it healing, and especially if she said, you know, especially if in like the writing of it is going to be healing, but if you've also gone through a big part of the healing journey already, so when you get towards the end of the story, it's got a good ending, like, so, and then it gets even better for you after that point, because you'll have had that additional healing, and then if you do choose to share it and other people get benefit from it, it's then even better, like you get even, you know, you feel like you've helped someone, and Kat says, yum, smoothies. Exactly. I'm making a smoothie later myself. I'm just going to write down this book Kat mentioned, Memoir as Medicine. Nancy Aroni. Oh, it's saying my connection is unstable. That's not good. Oh, it's back again. Just tell me if the stream's still going. It's just gone again. It says warning, but I've got full Wi-Fi here, so hopefully it's still working. Australiana says, sounds interesting, Kat. Use the account loop as others advertise Patreon well. Yeah, that's it. I'll do that. it is. I've set up a whole bunch of tiers. So it's got the thing for the book, thing for the mindfulness, and there's a free one as well, like so that we can have a chat. Like we can use Patreon as a forum thing. Awesome. Red Rose says all good. So it must have just been intermittent where the internet just went. Just had to finish writing down that book. I'll check that book out, Kat. Australiana says, okay, I'll then bless your Western suburb socks. That's it. The Western suburbs, the Westies. Yeah, it's pretty good here. Close enough to the bush. So it's like a lot of wildlife and sort of pretty blessed to be where I am. Australiana says, share it, Luke. Yeah, I will. I've got it on my there's a link to my Patreon on my YouTube homepage, but I haven't really mentioned it yet because I'm still setting it up and I've got to start putting some content on there. So especially, but the beauty of it is there's we can have a chat forum on there, and I can also share I can share some videos on Patreon, but also I can help promote the book and the mindfulness stuff. So I've got a tier where someone can donate for me to teach someone and give someone a mindfulness lesson, and then people can ask for a lesson. And so it means if someone's got a lot of money, they can donate a lesson or a session for someone else to get for free. And we're all spending all this money on psychologists and therapists and all this sort of stuff. So I think it would be really cool for people to do that, and I could do that. Australian says it's a little bit Girl with the Dragon Tattoo mixed with Wendy Harmer type of comedy. That's cool. Like it sounds like it's going to be heavy, but it's also got a sense of humor with it. So I think that could work, especially with your sense of humor, Australiana. I think I can't wait to read the first chapter. So send me as soon as you got like stuff that you want me to read, I'll read it. I'll be honored to. And if you want me to read it on here too, especially when you get closer to finishing it, or whenever you want, really. Red Rose says all good. Yeah, that was with the stream. So it's good it's running again. Kat says, writing forces one to face the reality, then reprocess it. Yes, exactly. So also can be confronting process. Yes, the positive ending, how one overcomes the tribulations and turns things for the better. That's a really good point, Kat. And so, yeah, if you wrote a memoir and you wanted to share it, I'd love to read it. So and it's a good way of reframing or processing. And actually, um, I was talking about this with a friend, and yeah, she said that um, you don't have to write a full memoir. You can just put in as much information as you want or as you need. You don't want to leave stuff out, and then then you can um, read it a few times and then put it down on the table or something, and then have it sitting there, and then focus on it, and then think about how you want to move on from it as the healing process. And I think essentially that's what you'd get from writing a memoir, is that it gives you that, and it is confronting because you're having to go through, but I think a big thing is um, and I spoke to a psychologist about this too, and when I said I was thinking about doing the reframing exercise of um, writing it all down, and he said that can be good. Can also, he said you have to do it, work through it with someone, um, and but he also said you have to make the conscious decision to, like, you know by doing the process, you're actually processing it fully, and then you're able to then move on. And so that's the difference between um, that's the real healing, because if you don't do that, you're not really you're not doing healing, and it's just going to come back again. So and you know again, what the counsellor had said was, if you start getting triggered, just stop. If it starts to re-traumatize you, don't do it, and just drop it for a bit, and then give the option to go back to it. But if you can complete it as an exercise, it can be so you can literally move on from. And I do it in smaller aspects with my poetry. Um, when I write a poem about something that I've been through, it feels like it's helped and it's corrected in a way. So that's a really good comment, Kat. Australiana says, so true, Kat. It's unraveled me a few times, and check in, then another one pops up. Yeah, that's um, that can be the thing. It can be like that. So, and that's what's happened to me as I was in last year, as I was processing a whole bunch of traumas. Each time I'd process one, it would cause other ones that weren't as significant to then become significant. And then I got used to actually that happening as an aspect of processing, is that you have these dominant ones that are you that are causing emotional and physical pain, and causing you to not be able to think properly, and getting triggered and traumatized, re-traumatized, all that stuff. And you process it, and then these other ones that were associated with it, that weren't as dominant, suddenly become dominant. And I think that's the same thing as what you're saying. Like, as you unravel, other things pop up. So just knowing that that's going to happen, you know, can at least prepare you for, you know, that it's going to happen, and it's an aspect of it all. And so that's why I think if you're going to do the reframing, like, you know, you might write, and then you have to go back through and expand on some bits that you might have not initially not gone into more detail with, and then it will, you know, eventually fill in the whole picture. And so doing that will, you know, you can, when you, like, if you work with by writing it on paper and then putting the written stuff onto a computer, or if you type straight into a computer, you can insert into it, you know, so that can help. Australiana says, can you read us some of your book? I absolutely. I will be reading. I'll do that. The essays, I can read the essays as I go, and also because I've only just sort of started the first bits of the essays, but I've got like 250 poems, or more than that now. And I have already read quite a few of the poems on here in other streams, but I'm happy to do that again. You know, I just wrote one the other day. I don't know if I should read this one. Australiana, I'll definitely read. Maybe not tonight, but like I will. I look forward to it. Thank you. I will. And you know, it will. Then I can sort of. It will. You know, I can read some of the essays and then read some of the poems, and I can make a playlist on my channel for that, and it'll help to promote the book. That's a really good idea. Australiana says, apparently hair trauma is now a thing. There is no end. Well, clearly I've got hair trauma. I went bald early, you know, like I started losing my hair even before the end of high school. And then it just went from there. So I think by the time I was 23 or something, it was pretty much half bald. And I think a lot of that was stress related. You know, I think I went bald early. It could have been hormones, but I think it was stress related. It could have been genetics, but I think it was trauma stress. And so it's funny, like when I was working in this factory, when I was 19, and my hair was already balding at that stage, and this guy came up to me, goes, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'm 19." He goes, "Wow." He goes, "You look like you're like 40 or something, you know?" And then the funny thing was, is as I got older, especially when I started shaving my head, people said to me, like how much younger I looked. And whenever I speak to people on the phone, they say, "Oh, you know, good, my voice, you know," they say, "Oh, you know, you don't sound like you're in your 40s." And you know, maybe it's the way I speak. And then the other thing was, is um, when I did finally start shaving my head, you don't see the baldness, and it made me look younger. So, and I didn't start getting grey hairs until only a few years ago. So, um, I used to have no grey hairs at all, pretty much, and then suddenly just they appeared. But yeah, I think it certainly is a thing. I'm pretty sure my balding was a combination of genetics, hormones, and stress, or stress hormones as well. I don't know, but I never, um, you know, it didn't really bother me that much. Um, People would make fun of me all the time. "Oh, baldy," and all this sort of stuff, always, you know. And I couldn't get why people would do that, you know. It's like, why always point it out and make fun of me for it? It's like, why? And I just like shrug it, laugh it off, haha, you know, like, um, so you know, I remember like I was 20 or something. One of my friends used to call me. He said, "You look like McMurphy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest," because you know the way when I was balding, that's the way it sort of looked. And some people would call me Krusty the Clown because my hair would be in like, yeah. And then eventually I just started cutting it short and shaving it, embracing it. And you know, obviously, I used to, whenever what someone would point out, "Oh, you're bald, you're balding, man," and it's like, I'd be like, "Why are you even talking about it?" Like, and then I'd say, "Oh yeah, see, it's all migrated. Like all the hair fell out here, and it's." So I'd like to make jokes about it and stuff myself. So it's funny. Australiana says, "I'm doing no thinking week. It's a fun process, getting the mental power back by letting nothing happen." That's a really, see, that's also mindfulness to do that, you know, is to empty your mind and clear your mind and to not think. That's a really powerful thing. And you know, you're still being present. You might find yourself more present in the moment by doing that, you know. And so in mindfulness, it's referred to as open awareness. And so it's like, you know, you you will think, but you can not think into detail. So like you can not get stuck on trains of thoughts and going through cycles and loops of thoughts. Just be calm and empty your mind, have an empty open mind, and let the thoughts just sort of disappear. you know, and throughout your whole week, like you'll have to do all these things. You know, you'll have to be cooking food and washing and eating, driving the car, doing things. You can be doing things, but not. So you'll still have to have you'll be have to think about what you're doing, but you won't be thinking about 20 other things at the same time. So that's a really good practice to do, and to actually give yourself a whole week for that is pretty special. So yeah, see, that's being very mindful, Australiana. So Australiana says bald is back, baby. That's it, freshly shaved today. If I shave my head every 2 days, it takes me only 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But if I leave it for too long, it like 3 or 4 days, it takes me ages. So I'm getting more in the habit now of trying to do it more regularly, and it's less of a task to do, you know. So it's a good practice, you know. But thank you, Australiana. Bald is back. Australiana says, yeah, reading the comments now. Sorry, guys. That's all right. Go Fast is here. How you going, Go Fast? Good to see you here, mate. I've been checking out the thing. Obviously, you had the fires near where you are earlier, a couple of months ago, but you're safe now at the moment, and it's on the other parts of Cali that are getting it. But like, I do remember hearing you mention about them too. I think that because there was, and then when I looked it up, that because when I heard about the fires, I was like, oh, I'll check where Go Fast is to make sure he's all right. Yeah, Go Fast says, yeah, we're all safe though. I am surrounded by amazing, the remaining fuels. There you go. So that is still sort of scary because you still have all the winds, and it's still dry. Although apparently there's rain coming, so hopefully that helps. Yeah, Australiana says, oh, thank you. Yeah, no, do the open. That's awesome mindfulness training. And that's good advice for other people to practice that, is to just clear the mind and don't think about anything. And to do it for a whole week you'll be so present. You'll be in the moment, you know. So whenever you're doing things, you'll be focusing on it. Go Fast says, that's how I handle shaving my eyebrows. Every couple of days. I get hairy ears. You can't see them on here, but like I got hairs that grow on my ears. So I literally shave my ears. I have tried pulling the hairs out, but they yeah, it's pretty funny. I look like a character from a cartoon or something with the hairy ears. But I wonder if it gives me super hearing with it. But yeah, it's funny. I literally shaved my ears, and it probably makes it worse. So I should probably pull the hairs out instead of shave them. So yeah. If I forget to do it for a while, then like it looks pretty funny. But yeah, sorry, back to the Go Fast. Yeah, back to the fires and stuff. That you're surrounded by the remaining fuels. Well, hopefully it you know, it's pretty horrible that the amount of damage that's been done, you know. And GoFast says it's currently raining after a few weeks of fires. Well, months. Yes, exactly. It's been months. If you consider when the ones near you, or a few months ago, or whatever. But the last few weeks have been a few big fires per day, a few thousand acres each. It's full on, isn't it? And you know, it's a combination of the dry winds. There's there's been cases where people have been starting them, which is horrible. But like dry winds, fuel load, lack of water, and unfortunately the not enough fire trucks and things like that. So it's really unfortunate, GoFar says my barber says the hair under no. My barber says the hair under his fingernails are part of the job. I don't know if he's just uncleanly or part wolf. That's classic. Not a not a Rodney Dangerfield quote, but it could be. Totally, that would be a classic Rodney Dangerfield quote. GoFar says the Los Angeles fires are being blown way out of proportion, though. Those size fires occurs in my area of green space sometimes multiple times a year, and they never get this coverage. Yeah, it is sort of interesting that, so yeah, you do get that with that. Even like the hurricane in the North Carolina, in the Appalachians, like there's still people stuck without power and stuff, and there's no real news on it, and it's like the news about, it's sort of sad when some things don't get any coverage and then other things just get full coverage, and it's like, yeah, and that's it. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just, I hope that in your area you've got better fire services anyway, because I know that that's a big thing in different areas, that there's different levels of support. So the LA fires, GoFar says the LA fires have been noted as the most costly and destructive natural disaster in US history since World War II or ever. That's pretty that's pretty far out of proportion. Yeah. That is like, to say in history, like, what about the Great Fire? Like, there's all the great fires that happened. Great Fire of San Francisco and the Great Fire of Chicago, and if you go on, like, they destroyed the whole city back in the day. These whole cities, and the earthquake as well. But I guess they're going off cost, like the value to the things. So, but yeah, it does sound strange. GoFast says there's decent small fire services up here. we get support from surrounding areas, and when the firefighters leave and are hiking out and everyone has already evacuated, I go run up pump stations. So you're like that's like are you like a volunteer sort of thing? Oh, awesome! And turn on everyone's garden hoses after the water goes out, and put people's hoses on their roof, and then go around on foot for a week or two to knock down whatever I can. That's awesome. You just do like you do what you can to that's awesome. That's a really good volunteer effort, you know. Yeah, that's it. Go Fast says I'm an unofficial volunteer, not supported, not supposed to stay behind. Figure it's like reverse mischief. Exactly. You know. But that's a really honourable thing to be doing, you know. When I lived in the bush for 6 months, you know, I brush cut all the grass, all surrounding the property, and it all the way down the back for a couple of the neighbours as well. So like it made a fire break sort of thing, because the grass was really tall and it was a massive fuel load really close, and people were really appreciative. But like doing stuff like putting the hoses on their roofs and things like that, that's a really good service you're doing to the community, you know, because it's like and going around, and because that's the thing is like they'll leave the area at a certain point and move on, but there's still all the fuel load in the area. And you know what we have is when the fires happen, like they'll put them out and there'll be stuff still burning, and so the fire can come back again later. So Go Fast says when the power goes out, the pumps go down, everyone takes off for a safer area. Firefighters give up their safety. Sorry. Firefighters give up for their safety, even in teams totaling a few hundred ground crews. Yeah. It's a dangerous job, but it's sad when they have to leave. And we often in Australia have cases where the firefighters and the volunteers firefighters get stuck and they die, which is really sad. Go Fast says this comment section and maybe a few text messages, and maybe the folks are the only ones who knows who keeps the houses from burning up here when the fires are on our hill. Question with the see no evil, speak no evil, think no evil. Yes, don't worry. I'll keep an eye out on the news. I'll keep looking it up, and we'll remember. You know, because it's obviously like, even though like you said it's raining at the moment, but it doesn't take long when when you got so much fuel load, like fires can start up again, and the winds can dry the stuff out so quickly, because the environment, a lot of Australia is very similar to, like, you know, where you are is it gets dry very quickly. Go Fast says Watch Duty is the app that's best for fires around the world, sometimes before they're reported. That's good. I'll look that up. we've got a there's a one that I use here that's like made it's like a layer on Google Earth, and it's was made by someone in the government. I haven't checked it for a while, but because it stopped working for a while, but it's really good. It's not an app. You just got to have to check the web thing. But what's this app called? Watch Duty. Yeah, because basically satellites see the fires, so that's how they can spot them when they start. Yeah, uses satellites heat mapping, exactly. Updates with the news from firefighters long before the news has it. Shows even hotspots over landfills because they generate above ambient temperature. That's awesome. No, that's really cool, and that's pretty much how this one that one for Australia I use. But I'll check this app out because the one for the local one, it will tell you information on each fire. So if it's a controlled burn or a scheduled burn, you can see, and often they're choreographed or they're controlled burns. They plan them to do them at certain times a year. The indigenous people of this country, used it for many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands for years. I don't know how long, but as a way of their farming of the bush is to and they had a special time to do it, So it's like after the second dew in winter, they had something like that. So the second time you'd get dew, then that was their signal to do it. And so firefighters or the national parks and the rural fire brigades do their control burns when the conditions are perfect. So sometimes, like, we'll get rain and then they'll schedule it. They'll have ones that they schedule for plan for a long time off, and then when the conditions are perfect, they'll just jump to it and do it. But they'll notify you, like we get billboards, like those roadside signs saying when it's happening, so people don't freak out and they know. But that's where this app's good, because when it happens, you can check it, or this web page, and then you can find out. Oh no, it's okay. It's been planned. So yeah, I'm going to check that app out, and because like you say, it works all around the world. So Go Fast says, yeah, Watch Duty is what the firefighters' families use that live up here. Well, there you go. Like, if that's what they're using, it shows that it's the go-to. Go Fast says it's free. I don't think there's any options possible to pay for. No exploitation of emergency news for profit. Yeah, that's good. It's good when they do that. They're ethical apps. Go Fast says correct. That app labels them too. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, yeah, I'll when I finish the stream, I'll check out that app and get it on my phone. Go Fast says, yeah, certain plants within Australia and South Africa will only grow after fire. Native plants. Yeah, exactly. So many here. That's what helps them. And they've developed even the ones like you'll have fire go through an area, and everything. A lot of eucalypts. Not only will they, when they're bigger, it'll help them seed, like it. When there's saplings, everything burns because they're at the height of the fire, and they burn. So it looks like they're completely dead. And then you look at the ground, and all the new shoots are coming out from the ground. So they constantly regenerate from that. So they're almost fireproof. If it's so that's it's a good thing. Like you can, if you're wanting to transplant a eucalyptus tree, you can basically cut it off at the ground level, dig up the roots and plant the roots, and the tree will grow again. It's actually easier to do that than to dig up the plant and try and replant it, because it's actually going through that rejuvenation process. And yeah, it is fascinating. Even the sequoias, I saw a thing today talking about that. So the giant redwoods, the sequoias, they seed after fire. So that was an interesting thing I learned today. So they have the same thing. Yeah, Go Fast says yes, indeed. Well, Go Fast also says, figure that's why things like eucalyptus have such flammable oils. It's a certain type of tree line fire or brush fire. Yeah, exactly. It does make them more volatile. So like lightning strikes are the main cause of bushfires in Australia. So you'll get a thunderstorm go through and lightning will start fires. And that's what that Google Maps thing would show the lightning strikes, and then you can see, and then it shows you the heat spot and then the fire, and then it's like you can see exactly what, it shows exactly when it started and it was lightning. But yeah, it's certainly part of the whole cycle of life, and I've sort of talked about this on the channel, that where we've got an invasive species called Lantana chimera, and it's Lantana, and it's pretty bad in some states in America. It's all over the world, but Australia, Africa, and South America, India, have got bad infestations of it, and it does. Problem with it is it grows on the ground, and then it grows up a tree, because it's a bush. It's like but then it will cling onto a tree and then climb the tree and actually get up into the canopy of the tree. So like when you have fires go through, they'll burn on the ground like naturally, and then they'll hit the lantana, and then if there's some of it going up into a tree, it takes the fire up into the canopy, and then you get canopy fires. So even though like usually that's the big problem. So like when we have the difference between a ground fire and a canopy fire is when you get real bad damage, because it kills the trees. But if you just get the forest floor fire, it doesn't kill the trees. Like they survive it. You know, they thrive on that. You know. Go Fast says also look like clover, or what people often think is clover, is direct, very, very close relative of the great redwood tree. There you go. Someone actually, that's another interesting thing. And a friend of mine told me about this not so long ago. Is that exact thing? Is that every tree, massive tree, has got a very close relative to the tree that is a completely different plant that will not, it looks completely different. And so instead of being this massive tree, like you say, so the tallest trees in the world have got like a relative that is like clover, which is like a small plant that doesn't grow, become even a tree. Isn't that fascinating? You know? And apparently, there's a thing like, just like every different tree species has got its own fungus that is unique to it. Every tree species also, like you say, with the redwood, has its own sister plant or brother plant or cousin plant, or whatever it is. Like it's really closely related to the tree, you know, and its closest relative is actually this plant that is completely different, and that's fascinating, you know. And yeah, like, and another fascinating thing is, you know, you look at the wild versions of plants, like vegetables and fruits and things, that before they became cultivated, they're completely different, you know. So yeah, I'll look into that, into the redwood one, the clover plant. Go Fast says, figure those patches of clover in redwood meadows, since they are such new constant growth and the mycelium exists in the first few millimeters of soil. Those clover act like feeler roots for the redwoods. That's amazing. It's like symbiosis. It's the whole ecology, you know, cycle of life, interconnectedness. Since Go Fast continues, since their uptake is similar genetically and the clover's sense it's focused on early stage growth, though its whole life cycle, especially in relation to the redwood. That's amazing. So they're like feeding the mycelium, and then the mycelium's feeding, getting oxygen down into the soil for the roots of the redwood, and it's amazing how it all works like that. Go Fast says, yeah, promotes more new growth in redwoods. Red Rose says, it's really so interesting how they're all so interconnected. Yeah, it's a great comment. Yeah, it is. So, and how they exist right next to each other, like, and it's such interconnected. You know, it's almost like the three things are like, it's like a trinity that's creating they're all coexisting together. And even though like the ground fires will go through and burn the ground, the tree stays standing, and then it seeds, and then you get the new growth as well. Go Fast says, yeah, also grows back fast as possible, protecting the mycelium layer consistently. That's awesome. So if fire goes through and then it grows back, that's amazing. Mycelium works like a translator and long distance line all in one, similar to our internet. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Go Fast continues. I'd say the eucalyptus outside my workshop is talking to the tree outside your house in Australia. Yeah, I have heard that, like, it's connected across the whole world, the mycelium network, and that it's like the internet, and that it's fascinating. Yes, at the same rate we are now. I've heard that it's really fast the way that they communicate, and it's like almost almost the speed of light type thing. Like it's carrying detailed information. So it's literally carrying the information of what's around it, the nutrients and oxygen levels and the bacteria and the changes in the. So there's like shared immunity, so that they through that interconnected network. So it's constantly updating, and that's why they say when the soils are depleted and you cut off the mycelium network, that's when the trees get sick, because they're not able to communicate that stuff. That it's like updating its firmware and antivirus software on the. You'll think of them like computers or something, but it is. Think of it like computers and the internet. It's a great analogy for how interconnected that, for billions of years, we already had this high resolution internet, like high fidelity or high bit rate internet that already exists. Yeah, Go Fast says, yeah, so having something so close to in genetic material, right there in physical form, gathering stuff up to carry a large old growth tree along makes good sense. Yeah, it does make sense, like it's like you really see the tree as being more than itself then, don't you? But you see it's like this, it's connected, it's connected out past the tree itself, but then it's then connected to the next tree and the next tree through the network. So, and it's all communicating to each other, and that's such a fascinating thing. There you go. The copy clovers work well with the California oaks here too. That's awesome. It's like, yeah, I'm just amazed at the complexity of life and how it just works. And it's like, for the yeah, there's interesting things like how trees that are getting eaten by certain animals put out like pheromones or something, and then they let the other trees around them know that they're being affected. Cage Pastor's here. Awesome to have you here, Cage Pastor. Cage Pastor says, hi guys with the hearts. Red Rose says, Go Fast. It really is so utterly mind-blowing by the sheer amazingness of it all. It is, totally. And just how it works, you know. Red Rose says, "Hey, Cage Buster." It's like, and it makes sense, you know, like, just like, there's places in Australia where we have like desert oases, because we have the Great Artesian Basin, which is like underneath the desert. There's all these water, there's all these caves and aquifers, sort of like in Florida. You have all the subterranean water flow, and so the trees send roots down through the cracks in the ground, all the way through the sandstone layer, down to the subterranean water. So like deep under the earth, there's like rivers under the earth, and the trees send their roots down to the rivers, and then they don't even need rain. They can basically not get any rain, and you have all these, and then they create shade and then food for all these amazing diverse like animals that can then exist in this arid desert environment, which then becomes like an oasis, really, because the trees create the shade and all that. Go Fast says, really it is. Howdy, Red Rose. Go Fast says, howdy, Cage Pastor. Red Rose says, hello, Go Fast. It's awesome. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Yeah, we're having an awesome chat tonight about like nature and stuff, which is really cool. It's thoroughly enjoying the chat. You know, getting back to nature is something that I look forward to in the next while. Is you know, and when the more you sort of understand about how it all works, when you're present in nature, and you can see the interconnectedness of everything, it's pretty special. Even just like, you know, when I'm sitting there watching the sunset, you're just seeing the different animals, like mainly birds and insects, going through their, like at the end of the day and the start of the night, and they're like traveling home to their roosting spots, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited to get back to nature. I mean, maybe I might even go tonight, go for a walk. I just charged my torch, so both my torches, but this one doesn't last very long. I do need to get a second torch. I'll just top this one up. This one goes for like on the highest beam for like 14 hours, so it goes all night, and then it'll go for like a week on its if you put it on its lowest beam. Longer than a week, 2 weeks. It'll go for 2 weeks. And yeah, no, it's fully charged. So, Maybe I'll go for a walk tonight, because now that I've stopped drinking alcohol, I know I'm going to have some insomnia. So I'll go with the insomnia, and because I've been motionless basically for the last week, it'll be good for me to do some exercise, and it's cool. That's another thing. So it was so hot today, I was sweating, you know. So that'll be good. It means that I'll tire myself out, and then I'll be able to sleep. So that'll be good. There you go. That's like the topic of the stream was to, getting moving again. So I'm going to do that starting tonight. And I needed that rest. So it's been good. Yeah, no, fascinated about just nature, and that'll be something I think I'd like, a new sort of thing to learn about. Red Rose says a good long walk tonight will do you good, Luke. Yeah, thank you. I think it will. It will. Especially, being like the first night not drinking alcohol after, being so regular for the last few weeks. It'll be cleansing for me, and then also add on top of that, not basically lying in bed for the last week. But I think I needed to do that, and I'm now ready to stop that and to be physical again. So that's going to be good. I'll make a smoothie, and I'm going to steam some cabbage and fry some onion, and maybe boil some eggs. So I'll have some good food tonight. When I stop the stream, I'll cook something up that's just really sort of healthy and simple. And the smoothie will be, packed with some good stuff in it. So just talking about that food has made me feel hungry. So that's a good sign, Red Rose says, take everything at the pace you need. You'll get there in due time, my friend. Thank you, Red Rose. Yeah, I will. I'll build up pace and add more and more stuff in each day as I can and need. So that'll be a big thing, not try and take too much on, and at the same time I feel ready to. I've got this massive list of stuff to do, and I've got to catch up on stuff. So I think just it'll just happen, you know. I'll start off at a slow, steady pace, and just each day I'll do a little bit more, and then, you know, and then the beauty of that is you do a little bit more each day, and then suddenly you're achieving a lot, um, by doing it, by pacing it. You know, you try and do too much too fast, you injure yourself or you get worn out, and then you have to take longer rest periods. But if you do things slowly in moderation, just bit by bit, yeah, you can. It's amazing how you can, you know, like the 1% rule. You know, if you increase everything by 1% each day, your fitness, what you're doing, in 100 days, you're at 100%. So, and even in 1 month, you're already at 30%. So you're well on the way within a month, and that's just by increasing by 1% each day. So, if I look at like that, like I've got because I put on so much weight in that last year, and it's now a year and a few months. I want to get fit and lose that weight. So if I do it over a 3-month period, 3 to 4 month period, I'll get physically fit and back to the strong, not the same strength that I had. Like I've lost all my muscle mass, a lot of it anyway. But even if I just lose the weight that I've put on and get fit, be able to, do stuff without losing my breath and all that sort of stuff. Even just after the first month, I'll be like a third of the way there. So, and again, like, so it's 30 kilos roughly that I put on, just under 30 kilos, or it probably is 30 kilos now. So if I break that down and say I give myself 100 days to lose all 30 kilos, then, that's, it's doing it slowly, like, but it's not too fast. So it's your body's not getting put into shock. So it's going to be good. And yeah, once I get, even after the first week, once I'm getting physically active again, it's going to be better for my mind. And then, I combine that with eating healthy. It means I'm going to be able to achieve more, because I've got all this stuff I've got to catch up on. If I'm going to start this business, which I am, but like I've got all this work I've got to do. I've got to build a website. I've got to learn how it all works with the website integration of like forms and calendar. So I've got to learn all this stuff. And so that's exciting because I was telling a friend about it today, and she just was like, "That's just the greatest news," hearing all that. She said, I'll be perfect at doing that," and she was just so happy to hear my path in life as to what I want to do. And so, she did something very similar to mindfulness, um, facilitating herself. So it was exciting for her to hear me talk about what I'm going to be doing. And it's going to be awesome. How cool will it be taking people for bushwalks and doing mindfulness, or taking people for bushwalks and sitting with them watching the sunset, or taking people for bushwalks and setting up easels and drawing equipment and doing drawings and that sort of stuff. It's going to be really cool. So it's just at 2 hours. I'm going to end the stream, and as soon as I talked about steaming cabbage and boiling some eggs and frying some onion, I suddenly got very hungry, and also the smoothie. So, because I've been eating such bad food for so long, when I think about eating just simple healthy food, my body is just saying to me, "Thank you, finally you eat some proper food." So just talking about it's making me I literally heard my stomach growl, and that's a really cool. Yeah, that's it. Go Fast says, "Yeehaw, get some good food in here." Yeah, awesome. It is. It's another thing I'm excited to reconnect with, because I used to love cooking, and then for lots of reasons that sort of dropped off, and I can't wait to get back to that. And I can even integrate that into my business, except the cooking aspect, but that involves having food licenses, but I can get around that if I get the people to supply their own food and cooking utensils. So I can also integrate that, and because it's a part of ecotherapy, or nature therapy is doing all that stuff. Harmony Seeker says, I'm about to eat some very unhealthy chips." That's all right. It's all right to do that, and it can be enjoyable, even whether the packet chips or the freshly cooked ones. Harmony Seeker continues, "Yeah, I detest cooking but love good food." Yeah, it is. It's something that can be very the act of preparing food. It can be something that is, some people it's their thing, and other people it's a barrier. And then when you don't enjoy making the food, you don't. Yeah, you then you don't get to have it as often, and but enjoying good food is good. So I remember, Harmony, one of your vlog posts was eating some nice food at a cafe with your friend. So that can be a really good alternative if you don't enjoy cooking yourself, is to get some nice food in a nice environment every so often. I used to have a thing where I'd try and, when I was in working and living sort of closer to the city, I would go and once a week I would have a nice meal at a cafe, or I'd get takeaway from a good restaurant once a week. And, really enjoy the meal. Cage Pastor says, I love your song, Harmony Seeker with the Heart. That's a beautiful comment. Yeah, there's a lot of people that really like your song, Harmony. It's beautiful. And, I can't wait for you to share more of it with us. And I hope that you continue to put them on your YouTube. Harmony Seeker says, hubby cooks and is good at it. I can cook but don't like it. Well, that's all right, that's, you can share. That's the whole thing about relationships like that. So, let him cook meals and you can do other stuff to contribute. And so enjoy his cooking, Harmony Seeker says, thank you all. Yeah, look, really is a beautiful song. And I hope that you're still interested, because Harmony Seeker, we talked about doing an interview. So if you're still happy to do that, we'll talk further, and then try and do that sometime in the next month. Australiana says, just had the smoothie, lavender and chocolate powder with stevia, chia seeds, chocolate ice cream, Choyo yogurt. OMG yum. Yeah, that's like an epic smoothie. Mine's going to be much simpler than that, but actually I can do I can do some of that. I'll be just simple. It'll be like milk, ice cream, protein powder which has got a bit of sugar in it, and the chocolate. We got drinking chocolate, so I'm going to make it. It'll be similar. Oh, now I'm getting really hungry. Cage Pastor says that sounds delicious. Australiana Maid says, what song? Go to my community page. It's a song that Harmony Seeker performed, and I put it on there for the Making Art in January thing. So on the community tab on my YouTube page, you can go to the song. Yeah. I think it's called Music for a While. Awesome. Harmony Seeker says, still happy to do it when you're ready to. Thank you. That's going to be awesome. So yes, in the next 2 weeks, we'll do that. I'll send you like a list of questions beforehand, so that you can be happy with the questions, and you can sort of decide which things you don't want to talk about and what you do want to talk about, and we'll just have a chat. So I'm excited for that. Cage Pastor says, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Luke shared it on the community tab. Yeah, no, and I've still got a couple of people, I think, got Cage Pastors sent in a photo, drawing. And Are You Sure has got one of her light experiments that she's been working on. So I got a photo and a video of what she's been working on, which is really cool. Australiana says, Woolies shop tomorrow, empty the fridge. Oh yeah, Milo. I'm actually going to do that too. Like, well, not the shop, but like the empty the fridge and give it a good clean. Like, take all the shelves out and clean everything and put the shelves back. And that'll be something to do tomorrow too myself. I was just thinking about that today, because it's good when the fridge gets empty enough that you can just, it's easy to do. And the other thing will be go through all the jars of things that have been there for like a year or longer, and you know, if it's preserved stuff, like, it'll last. But if it's you know, yeah. So I won't be throwing food out unless it's like not good. And I'm going to have smoothies tomorrow as well, because the milk we've got in the fridge is about to go off. And yeah, it's just sat there, and I haven't been drinking it. So I've got to use it. Australiana says, cool, I'll listen. Did you listen to mine? Is it up? Oh, if you're happy for me to share your song, yes, I've listened to it many times. So I'll put that on my community page in the next week, Australiana. Such a beautiful song. And your other songs on there as well. All three of them are beautiful, but like, especially the one for your friend, like the eulogy or whatever. Such a beautiful. I hope that you're still playing guitar and singing. You know, I'm about to get back into it, and I noticed you were playing classical guitar as well. I'm much a fan. Once I started playing classical guitar, I prefer it to steel string guitars. So that's another project, is to finish converting one of my guitars to a fretless. So that'll be something I can do in a stream. I can go through the whole process, and like, if I buy some strings next week, I can set up. I've got all the materials. I just got to buy some strings, and you can buy these strings now that you tune to it for classical, that are tuned to one whole octave lower, so it turns your guitar into a baritone guitar. And so I'm going to find those strings and get some next week, and then that way, when I make this Yamaha guitar I've got fretless, I can put the baritone strings on, and it's going to sound awesome. And because I've already taken the frets off, all I have to do is tap the nut off the guitar and file down the nut and the bridge a little bit, and then sand the neck flat, and then fill in all the frets with glue and sand it again flat, and oil it, and then put the strings on. So I'll be able to like finish the guitar through, you know, it's only like probably 2 hours work. So I'll be able to do that as a stream. That'll be really fun to do. So, but I've got to order the strings first so that I can complete it. Yeah, Lament, that's what it's called. Awesome. I'm writing that down. That can be your art for January. It is such a beautiful song. And I hope you're still playing guitar and writing songs. If not, you'll get back to it. So yeah, I'll share that during the week. So everyone keep checking the community page. You know, over the next week, I've got another, before the end of January, I've got, you know, 3 or 4 people's have sent in stuff for the art for January thing. So I'll sort of post one every 2 days, and then that gives people a chance to see, you know, the post pop up, and then they can check it out. But just keep checking the community page throughout the week, and you'll see. So that's really cool. I look forward. Thank you for that, Australiana. It's, you know, people are going to love this song. I see Australiana says, yeah, thank you, Cage Passer. I'm Unhinged Noodle. That's classic. Australiana says, cool, I'll check the others out. Yeah, there's a couple on there already. So there's 3. There's from Soli, from MJG, and from Harmony Seeker so far. And so if anyone else has got stuff they want to send, email. And yeah, that's really cool. Australiana says they're delivering and shopping, bringing it up to the top here instead of me. Yeah, that's actually, it's good part of the service is that they bring it right to your door, you know. So, you know, and I was a delivery person for a long time, and you know, it's a lot of work, but it's good. People appreciate it. They appreciate the effort and stuff, and it is a good part of the service. You know, it does make things a lot easier. You know, and I've thought about starting to use the service because of my anxiety. You know, going shopping and stuff. I usually go to the shops right before they shut at night. You know, I wait till 20 minutes before they're shut, and then I go shopping while there's hardly anyone there. So, like, you know, I'm just going to do, I think I'll start doing the deliveries once a fortnight. And yeah. Cage Pastor says, lol, the hearts, I'm sure you're exactly perfect for whatever you do. Points for creativity. Yeah. That's a good comment. Australiana says, Cage Pastor, I love that name. It is. It's a classic name, isn't it? It's like you sort of think of pasta stuck behind a cage. Right. Pasta is so good. It's so good for you too, unless you're obviously intolerant to the food. But you can get pasta for people that are intolerant for it. Um, it's like a superfood, you know. It's high carbs, but carbs are good for you. You just, especially like I don't mind the wholemeal pasta. I like I think it's good. Um, but yeah, just regular pasta is good, but just not every day. Just every so often, a couple of days a week. You know, here's a awesome recipe that I discovered being a bachelor for so long, and it's a very Australian one. So it comes from having hardly anything in the cupboards and in the fridge. So all you need is pasta. Spaghetti's the best, or macaroni, um, and then you just cook it, and then you tip the water out, and then you put in butter and Vegemite. Trust me, it's delicious. Butter, Vegemite, it's the best. And all you like, it's you can put cheese with it as well, but if you don't have cheese, you don't need it. You can just have butter and Vegemite and pasta. So you can have virtually nothing in the fridge or the cupboard, and and it's delicious. So try it if you're especially Australiana. I know that you probably got Vegemite in the cupboard. Us Aussies often have it, but like, um, it's delicious. Even if you're in America, try and find some Vegemite somewhere. I don't know if they sell it anywhere, but everyone's got Vegemite in the cupboard in Australia. So yeah, all you need is butter, Vegemite, and pasta, and you've got food. It's delicious. And I usually go like a teaspoon of Vegemite to like a cup of pasta, or um, a good plate of spaghetti. It's really good, and good chunk of butter, and so it's and literally costs you like $1. It's so cheap. Australiana says, "Yeah, you can share, Lament. Thank you, I really thanks." Yeah, he was meant to be playing, but died suddenly. It's an old Japanese maple acoustic, same strings as 2012. Just now, just wow. So that's it. It's amazing. You're still um, still got the same strings, so they can last for that long too. And if you don't, it's um, it's good to like take the tension off the strings if you're not playing for a while. That helps them last longer. But yeah, that's good. That's really good. Um, it's really sad though about your friend. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, and you can. It's good that you're able to play that song, perform it, um, in honor of your friend that you lost. So it's such a beautiful song, and you know Japanese maple acoustic. That's beautiful. So yeah. Go Fast says phone battery. I'm back. Cage Master says, hey, Go Fast. I don't know what WB stands for, but I'm guessing it's something like that. Australiana says, I'm trying to play and to get outside, to just be calm. After a few Dr. CBDs, I strum. There you go. That's good. It's good therapy, you know. I used to enjoy actually going to watch the sunset, or just going to play sitting under a tree and stuff like that. And you know, I'll get back to that. The first step will be to pick it up. You know, I've cleaned all my guitars so that you can't see the other one, but there's two there. I did that in one of those streams, so that'll be something that I start again this week, is to practice again, pick it up and play every day. Australiana says Woolies here has quiet shopping hours. There you go. I didn't know that. That's good to know. So, yeah. I mean, they naturally have the quiet shopping hours just at certain times of the day. But like having it as an official thing, that's pretty cool. That's really good for people with anxiety and things, and neurodivergent and all that sort of stuff. So that's really cool. I'll look into that. But also just the delivery thing might work as well. You know. Yeah, I've got my microphone for my phone. So, you know, the idea is I start doing live streams like I did the other night when I was up the mountain, you know, walking around with them. So I can go for a walk down the creek tomorrow, maybe, and that sort of thing. So I look forward to doing that. I still can't work out how it mirrors the picture. It annoys me. I don't like that. I should be able to have it. It shouldn't mirror it. It should be unmirrored. So I might even write to YouTube and say, please put this in a feature in your thing, because I don't like it. I think there should be. It used to have the feature where you could press a button and fix it, but it doesn't anymore. So Go Fast says, I didn't go to the grocery stores for about 3 years after that knife neck thing occurred. Recently, halfway through this last year, I got out of the house quite a few times, including the grocery store. Oh, look, I can totally understand that. Like, you know, it's amazing how you recovered so well after that, you know, and that, you know, and that now it's amazing, like, you know, you're enjoying life and you're there, you know, doing the caring role yourself, and you're making motorcycles and model airplanes and things like that, and it's some, you know, pretty awesome. Like, Go Fast makes these motorcycles from scratch, like amazing, and also reconditions bikes that are like completely rusted and haven't been ridden for 20 years or whatever, and brings them back to brand new again. So it's quite a skill and an art form. So Yeah, the photo you shared with me of that motorcycle, that it's beautiful. But yeah, and I look forward to start making some model aircraft too soon. But yeah, look, it's going back to what your comment, go fast. Yeah, that's yeah, what you went through is um, it's the recovery would have been just a lot of work, and it's amazing to see how you've it, I can see how it would have taken time to get back doing things again, but so good that you are, you know. Yeah, Go Fast continues about the grocery store. I think I didn't make it a big deal when I did go, or in preparation. Just did it, got through it. Not bad, not entirely good, doable. Yeah, that's a really good way to actually approach that stuff. If you think about it too much, um, you know, and make it a big deal, then it makes it even harder to actually do. And you know, and if you just go, right, I'm just going to go and go shopping right now and just get it done, and then um, afterwards you're like, oh, I did it, and you know, um, and you know, you can be happy with achieving it. Um, yeah, I mean, I tend to get worked up about it and make too much of a thing about it, and that prevents me from going, you know. So I'll only go occasionally. So um, I'll work on that, you know. And I like that. I like that attitude of just not making a big deal about it and just getting in and doing it. And then yeah, yeah. Go Fast has got the sweat and the laughing tears. I'd say it's still difficult. I can see what you mean. It's not easy, and it would have been. And yeah, when you go in and then you're stressing, and then you just shopping as quick as you can, and then you just want to get out of there, and then you get it all done. You get back in the car, and you're like, I made it. You know. Cage Pastor says, I don't think I've seen Vegemite in the stores. I'm sure it could be ordered. Yeah, that's it. You'd have to get it. It'd definitely be on Amazon or something like that. Or they'd be in a store that sells it. Um, it's it's one of those things, you know. People say they don't like it if they eat it the wrong way. Like you've got to you got to put on lots of butter on the bread. Like there's heaps of YouTube videos of how to like prepare Vegemite properly, and then you put everyone has does it differently, but you lots of butter, not too much butter, and then not too much Vegemite. Just it's not like you're putting jam on your toast. Much less. So you go less Vegemite than butter, and yeah, it works. You go to some people put lots on, but that's them. But like when I say the recipe for the pasta, a whole teaspoon, heaps teaspoon is not much when you mix it all in to all the pasta. It just sort of um, you know, that's equivalent to like 1 teaspoon. If that was bread, that would be on four pieces of bread. So it works out. So that's not too much. Australiana says, well done, go fast. That's the way. Shop at the granny shops. Yum pasta, hint Luke. Yes, you'll have to try it, Australiana. It's so good. If you have gepesto, that works too, or feta, or an egg cracked into pasta. Yeah, I love feta, just feta broken up and mixed into the pasta. That's a really good one. Pesto, yes. Big fan of that, like especially when we had parsley growing. Even just chopped like heaps of parsley and you mix that in, and garlic, parsley and garlic and olive oil. That's another good yummy. But I haven't tried the cracked egg into the pasta. I'll have to try that. I'll try that. And so you do the feta and an egg. I'll get some feta next time I'm shopping, and I'll try that. Cage Pasta says, I heard it's an acquired taste, lol. Yeah, Vegemite's good. You just got to have the right amount, you know. There's three other types similar. There's Marmite, Promite, and Bovril, and they're all different. So, and they come from different places too. I think Marmite and Bovril come from England, and they're different recipes. They taste different, and to Australians, we don't necessarily like the other ones as much because they're just a different mix. Yeah. Australiana says cage pasta. We totally get smothered in it as kids. I have it in mash. Mum gives it to us as kids. Gave it to us that way. So I've got to try Vegemite in mashed potato now. I haven't tried that before. I'll have to try that now. That sounds delicious. Cage Pasta says, love that, go fast. With the heart. Australiana says, yeah, he was the most beautiful soul. One of the people I was lucky to love. Last person I loved, actually, or was next to 2011. Yeah, I'll you know, if you're all right with that, I can mention some of that when I post that song. You know, music for a friend that was lost suddenly. I think you have something like that in the description of the song. So, I'll share it. Lament this week. It's such a beautiful song. And yeah, there you go for a beautiful person. Yeah, I'm really sorry for your loss. That's Australiana says, let's jam, Luke. Yeah, for sure. That's going to be awesome. We'll have to do that. See, look, got a smile on my face. I'll have to get practicing again now. I'll start practicing. Give me a few weeks. No, that's an awesome idea, Australiana. I'll practice. I'll start practicing tomorrow. Australiana says Indooroopilly has it. Centenary, St. Lucia, Toowong. Just look up which time at each shop has it. A lot of crackheads sleep early, so go there. That's awesome. I'll write that down. Yeah, quiet shopping. Yeah, hopefully my local Woolies does that. GoFast says, I don't use the grocery store apps to get through those 3. I didn't use the grocery store apps to get through those 3 years. Not as a badge of honor or anything. Yeah, so that would have been difficult though, because then, like for me, I've relied on my father doing the shopping. And so I feel, I was sort of doing other stuff around to sort of help him, but I feel like I have to contribute that. And I was trying to, like, I'd always offer, like, I want to go do the next shop, and he'd be like, no, it's all right, because he likes to make sure he gets all the things he wants. And so, when I go shopping, I usually I consult and say, look, I think we need this, and I buy all these things that are sort of separate to the stuff that he normally gets, sort of, so it balances out. But yeah, no, it's, so yeah, I've had that, for where I think in the last year, I think I only went to the grocery store like 3 or 4 times, and it was always at just before they shut, sort of thing. GoFast says, my autistic way of saying, I understand your grocery store anxiety myself. No, yeah, totally. There's, and it's good to share that stuff because, like, we've talked about the grocery store anxiety a few times, and it's been healing for a bunch of us to understand that we can empathize with each other, that it is a difficult thing. Australiana says, I'm interested as a statistic to know how many of the youngest child we have in the group. I'm the youngest, so yeah, youngest of 3, and GoFast says only child. Cage Pastor says I'm in the middle. Australiana says, I wonder about attention levels given to different children. I'm into psychology. Yeah, it's interesting. I try, I talk a lot about my personal stuff on here. And I sort of don't really go into that sort of stuff. Because I do go right into a lot of personal stuff, and I try and but it is certainly a thing, that different sections get different amounts of attention, and for obvious reasons. There's practical reasons why, like reasons where often the first child gets a lot more attention, and sometimes it's the youngest child gets a lot more attention. It just depends, on the situation. But like, often the there's more stringent stuff. It gets some families. It's more, the first child gets a lot more rules put on them, and then by the time they get to the youngest child, there's less rules, so that they have less requirements and rules, and there's reasons for that too. That in a lot of situations where it's interesting, the whole thing with the dynamics of all that sort of stuff. So, but I'm I'm the youngest and also the black sheep of the family. So Australiana says a long time between Vegemite. Sure, you can write that. He was an incredible musician, especially violin. It was written for him to play violin. Now I'm really sorry that he wasn't able to play it, So I will thank you. I will put in that stuff about your friend. And I'll basically write very much what you've sort of said in the chat, like, Australiana says all of us here can learn from our chords. Can learn 4 chords. So my vision's a bit blurry at the moment. Totally. Yeah, we talked about picking songs and getting everyone to play songs. Cage Pastor says I can do the kazoo with a laughing face. Kazoo is cool. I haven't. Dusty, but I got an Irish tin whistle here. I need to give it a clean, and I got lots of instruments, but that'll be a good one to practice and take with me when I go bushwalking, and it's very easy to play, compared to like my Japanese flutes and that. It's very difficult. So yeah, kazoo is a pretty cool instrument. Australiana says, just go with your dad, less thinking, take your own list and ask if there's any aisle he wants you to go to. Shopping for him would be the goal, little steps. That's a great idea. I'm going to offer that to him. As long as he's happy to go to, he usually goes to the other big name store, and I don't go shopping there. So, but if he's happy to go to the other one with me, that could work out really well. A great idea, Australiana. I've written that one down. I'll ask him about it later. Cage Pastor says, Australiana, I think gender has a lot to do with attention too. Yeah, it certainly has a lot to do with it. And it sort of, I don't know. There's, in a lot of family dynamics, you have, the golden child and the scapegoat in sort of extreme sort of cases. Yeah, Australiana says kazoo 4-chord special. Yeah, that's it. Australiana says, I'm looking for at least one oldest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone here yet. Australiana says, somehow the oldest seem a little less affected by trauma. Haven't heard many elders speak about it. Yeah, that's really interesting. I wonder what the statistics are on that. I'm going to look that up. I might even ask the trauma centre if they can know where there's statistics on that. But the internet might be a good place, but it's certainly something that wouldn't be, it'd probably be in like a special study, like some of the, which would have been, that's very interesting because I think so. I mean, I look at, as far as, yeah, my trauma is certainly much more extreme than everyone else, and I'm the youngest. Australiana says, oh no, Cage Pastor says, Go Fast is forever oldest child. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, if you're the only child, then you're essentially the oldest always. Australiana says, I'm second, first girl of 10. That's a big family. That would have been interesting. You must have like large gatherings for like family catch-ups and stuff. That would have been really interesting, having that many brothers and sisters. Australiana says 5 in the first calamity, 5 shrapnel begin agains. You got a classic wordsmith with the way you speak. It's amazing. Should make a dictionary with. There's some cool. Yeah, it's cool. That's why I'm excited to read your book that you're writing. I reckon it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Cage Pastor says, wow, big family. Australiana says, cheers, fellow Vegemite and artisans. Create. Totally. That's it. I'm going to do the Vegemite mashed potato now. It's going to be awesome. If there's potatoes in upstairs, I might make some tonight. Australiana says, FYI, Under the Milky Way and Love Song by The Cure are the same chords. Met the writer. How funny is that? That's awesome. It's cool to have met the writer. I'm trying to like overlap in my mind the two songs. I'm gonna have to listen to them both now and like, yeah, but that's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, and that's There's a bunch of songs I want to learn to play now as well, because it's been so long. You know, I've forgotten half of the cover songs, or pretty much most of them. But a lot of the cover songs, I just need to see the chords, but like now I'll remember them again. Yeah, when I started playing guitar again a few years ago, I think I learned about 10 more cover songs. And so it's a challenge to learn those ones again. And then, which won't take too long because I already knew how to play them. And just once I get practice again. And then, yeah, think of some new ones to learn. Australiana says, Cage Pastor, yes, gender equals more housework expected for all females and no crying for the boys, especially when your sister hits you back. Is role orientated more so. That's true. I understand that. That is true. Although I did, once I got to a certain age, I was expected to just do stuff around the house. And even that was also, when I was doing extra stuff, I'd be doing more garden work and, stuff like that. Yeah. Australiana says, Cage Pastor, it's a big and fridge magnets each year for Christmas. Still, yeah, still cuts it lol. Lolo. That's yeah, fridge magnets each year for presents. That's perfect. Makes it easy. And if it still cuts it, that's perfect. Everyone knows what to expect. Just keep doing it. Eventually, everyone will have like their fridge covered in magnets. So that's classic. But yeah, that would be. Cage Pastor says, yeah, definitely has a lot to do with family dynamics too. Like different cultures have different family structures. So yeah, it is. That's interesting that there is, yeah, just all across the world, there's just different dynamics. And be something interesting to learn, about. Yeah, I was watching, good Jerry Wise he's got a really good channel. He's awesome with all of his knowledge and that. Jerry Wise and Heidi Priebe. She does really good ones on family dynamics as well, and especially in relation to trauma as well. Is it Heidi Priebe or Phoebe? I can't remember. Sometimes I'm dyslexic with names. Anyway, she does good videos. Yeah, Jerry Wise. He's yeah, very wise. Australiana says two songs. Yeah, the two songs are so identical that Peter Copes from the Church was ashamed to play it when he was backing The Cure. He stole it from them and then ends up backing them up with exclamation marks. Funny. Wanted Lament. That's classic. And, you know, that's a big part of music, is that, you know. Especially with chord progressions, you know. It is so easy to be similar. But it is yeah, there's like the different layers of it. There's like, I think it was 5, you know. I can't really think properly at the moment, but like you got like theft or plagiarism, then you got homage, then you got appropriation, and then you got inspiration. So there's 4. I think there's another one. Yeah, Australiana says Jerry Wise, Dr. Romani, Dr. Scott Ellers all got me through the poo. I'm going to have to write those other ones down. Because, yeah, it's always good. Dr. Romani, because I don't know. And Dr. Scott Ellers. Yeah, Cage Pastor says, thanks for sharing. I want to check them out. Yeah, totally. Definitely good channels. And I'll check those ones out too, because the Dr. Morani, Dr. Scott Ellers, I haven't seen them yet. Another good channel is Narc Daily. Very informative. And he's near where you are, Cage Pastor. You're part of the states, or next state over, sort of thing. But yeah, he puts up video every day. Narc Daily, it's a good channel. There's another one too. Narcon, Narccon. It's like an Irish woman. She has some good videos as well. Yeah, it's Heidi Priebe. Heidi Priebe, Priebe. Lots of good complex trauma videos, and she goes in depth about a lot of stuff, psychology and things like that. Australiana says Dr. Todd Grande gets me laughing when emotion is low. Yeah, he does have some funny videos. The way he like makes fun of situations. It's almost in bad taste sometimes, but it's, you know, he's talking about, you know, people that do often silly or horrible things. So they, it's all right for him to sort of make light of the things. But yeah, it certainly can be like what you said. Can be funny. He does put some jokes in there, quite a lot of jokes sometimes, and especially with his like the way he's like deadpan, the way he says everything with no emotion, and and then he's talking about some horrible thing, but then he makes a joke about it. So it is sort of like a style of comedy, really. When you know, sorry, I didn't finish the comment. Australiana says, Drew, someone, his comedian in stutter, and his wife has ADHD. Oh, very cool. All right. I don't know. I'll have to try to look that one up. Go Fast says, yeah, I recommend Sam Vaknin for narcissism related channels. He covers mental health subjects too. Yeah, he does a lot of in-depth stuff. He's actually got lots of channels too. So he's got ones that are sort of specific, and he does long talks on subjects, So he's certainly well informed, and yeah, that's a good recommendation. He doesn't. He defines things differently too. So he's not necessarily trying to educate you to protect yourself from narcissists. He more sort of talks about theirs, what they're like and what they do. Australiana says, just some geezer is my new go-to regarding media. Is that the name of the channel? Just some geezer? I'll check that out. Oh, awesome. Are you sure's here? How you going, Are you sure? Awesome to see you here. Are you sure says, hi, wonderful beings. With the hands making the heart. Cage Pastor says, hi, are you? With the hearts. Australiana says, hi, are you? Yeah. Awesome. You could make it. Unfortunately, I probably will be ending the stream soon though, because I've talked about cooking food and my stomach's growling. But I'm happy to keep chatting for a while because we're having a really good conversation. It's good when that happens, We talked about lots of things tonight, and it's a lot of practical stuff. It's good when we sort of and support each other too. With we're talking about the shopping and anxiety and ways of getting around it, and exposure therapy. Getting there and doing it, and getting over the anxiety about it. And I like that idea of quiet shopping hours, so I'm going to look that up. A Shaw says Cage Pass in Australiana. Australiana says, why don't you promote you foods on the channel and eat. Lol. Classic. That's it. They'd send you free food. That's interesting. Yeah. No. Um, it'd be cool. I'd be keen to get like um, an audio company, sponsor someone that so I get a new. I mean, this still works great, but like get another one, and I'll do more nature recording. But yeah, I've got to look at getting a new camera so I can get back into nature video stuff and do the high quality audio with it. Makes a big difference when you've got good audio and you stitch it together. And so that's something I want to get back into, because I started doing that last year and then I just stopped. I had all this stuff going on, and I was going to be doing one nature video a week, and it just stopped, and I never got back doing it. So yeah, that'll be something for this year. So I'm in the market to buy a new camera, and so I've got to save up. But I've also got registration for my Ute coming up, so I want to make sure I've got enough. I don't have much money, so and cameras are pretty expensive. I want a decent one. So I'll probably get it secondhand. Yeah, that's something to do. But I love that one. Promote U-Foods and get free food. Go Fast says Sam's pretty funny, especially when he's done some self-deprecating narcissistic humor as an example, and a way of refining his 2-hour talk into one linear real-world joke. Pretty silly. Yeah, he does that a bit. He does. He puts in jokes and stuff. Australiana says, "Go Fast." Yes, I love it. He's the only drinker who has made any sense to me. Australiana continues. I'm going to go and eat. There's no cat food left, so it's going to have to be cooked up. Cook up. Waha. Good night. Are you Luke? Cage Pasta. Harmony Seeker. Red Rose. Yeah. Thanks for being here, and we've all appreciated your company. Being here tonight, Australiana. Thanks for being here, and keep checking the community page. I'll put up the rest of the art in the next few days. So, and Are You Sure's got like one of her artwork she's working on, that'll be on there, and Cage Pasta's got a drawing. So I think Red Rose has got something as well. I'm not sure. Australiana says, I don't really eat cat food, but my cat eats rock melon and goes under the doona if it's not in the fridge. Go figure. That's classic. I figured that's what you meant, you know. But yeah, I used to cook up like a stewy type thing for my cat. But I used to often get kangaroo, the big bags of kangaroo mints, and then put it into like portions in plastic bags and just put them in the freezer. That was always good. I used to live across the road from the shops, like a 24-hour shop. And if I got home from work late and the cat was hungry, it would literally follow me across the road, busy road, 4-lane road, and like sometimes even wait outside the doors of the shop, but he'd often wait in the garden. Like he knew it was like until I like went and got the cat food. He'd follow me across the road while I was getting the cat food and just be there staring. It's like, yeah, hungry. But like yeah, it was funny stuff. Australiana says she's a Japanese bobtail with a fluffy tail. I thought it was because we got her from Gympie, but she's special. One of those cats that are on benches for good luck. Oh, like the ones that do the hand, like there's waving to you or something like that. Like there's that cat, Japanese good luck charm or something like that. There you go. It's like a special special breed. And that's they got that place in Japan. It's like an island that's full of got cats everywhere. People go there just to feed all the cats. It's and there's a place like in Italy, or I think it's Italy or Greece. Like there's places that are like ancient ruins, and like the cats have taken over, and so there's like hundreds of cats all just living there. Australiana says those ceramic cats have a little fluffy tail. If you look, yeah, there you go. I'll look them up. Australiana says Cat Island. Oh my god, I'd love that. There is one with rabbits too. That'd be cool. Just like rabbits everywhere. Well, they do. They just it's like it's amazing how like there's rabbits everywhere here too. It's not like Victoria though. But yeah. Are you sure? Says I look forward to listening to the replay. I'm hungry too. Yeah, thanks for being here. Are you sure? And yeah, yeah, I probably will end it because I'm really hungry and I need to eat. So yeah, enjoy watching the replay. When we stop, you can just press start again, or whenever you're ready to watch. And yeah, look forward to sharing your neuroplasticity artwork on the community page this week. It'll be sometime in the next few days. So I might actually, I think I'll share your one tomorrow. And then every sort of day, I'll give it like 2 days per each one, in between each one. So people get a chance to see it, because, like YouTube will show you the latest community post. They won't necessarily show you the one before it. So it means that more people will get a chance to see everyone's art that they're doing. So thanks for being here, everyone, and having an awesome conversation. Thanks for being here, like Red Rose, Are You Sure, Cage Pasta, Australiana, Go Fast. It's been a really awesome chat. We've talked about lots of stuff tonight, and Harmony Seeker as well. Harmony Seeker was here. So thanks, everyone. Much love to you all, and we'll catch up again soon. Hey, I'll be back doing the Sunday night stream every week again, and I'll try and do a second one, which will be like Friday afternoon, East Coast time, Friday evening. So, Hey Shaw says lovely, bon appetit. Cage Pasta says good night, everyone. Yeah, thanks for being here. It's been really awesome chat. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's we talked about some serious stuff, and everyone had some good advice about things, and we shared good links to some informative channels for psychology and trauma and stuff. And we had a good chat. So yeah, until next time, much love. Catch up soon.